Welcome, I am the Tarot Tactician, reachable only at TheTarotTactician@hotmail.com. I do not initiate contact. As with everything, exercise your own judgment, utilize your own discernment. In my world, clear your karmic energy or leave with it. This message is specifically titled "The Fuse Has Been Lit." Very, very clearly in this reading, there was chaos and confusion and a detonation. All things built on faulty foundation are brought to an abrupt end. It may not happen immediately, but it is inevitable. This is one that finalized quickly. We have the Tower, the Seven of Cups, that was the chaos and confusion. We have the Hermit, and then the Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the King of Pentacles, leading into the Eight of Cups inverted with an upright Eight of Wands and the Empress. This is someone coming back to who they were meant to be. There was a very short, how to put this, misrepresentation of who somebody was on a spiritual level. The fuse being lit obliterated the pieces of this puzzle that were not meant to fit. I'm speaking to someone in this frequency who is very finely tuned to working with very specific types of people. And this interaction was not it. The interesting thing is, stand by. This was known. This frequency, you knew going into this, both of you actually did, that this was not meant to be long term. The people we meet and interact with are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. This was a reason. This was a mirror image to show somebody that you are not following your true path. What is it about your situation and your direction that you're allowing yourself to be taken off the path you are meant to be following? You had very clear instructions before this, and something about this situation distracted you. Coming out karmically, we have courtship, courthouse, coffin, with judication at the bottom of the deck. There's something I'm missing here about this path that was so appealing to divert off your course, but this has been quickly refixed. Quickly corrected. What's this about a fix? There's a fixation. Karmic ties and karmic involvement. But there was something very shiny about this at first that was very appealing. Very little substance to it, though. Or there was friction. This is a situation of two parties coming from two completely different worlds. Which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it can work, but this was meant to be a lesson to both. The positive thing that I'm seeing here is that there is a release of toxins from the system. Like someone's actually resetting themselves and booting out and keeping out anything that they were ingesting during this time that was affecting their perception. This reading is very halting. This energy is, there's movement and then it stops abruptly. There's movement and then it stops. I'm seeing a locomotive train engine, an old style train engine. It gets going a little bit and then it's like the brakes kick in and it seizes on the tracks. This was a very frustrating situation to deal with. And this is felt by both people. I'm being called to clear this up a little bit further. What was the deciding factor? Because there's something about this that while you're all meant to do a clear out and release, a clear, cancel, and release of items, energies, thoughts from this circumstance, there's meant to be a huge clear out. There's a lesson here specifically to be taken, but it's being masked. Magician. This was a lesson in being very clear on what you intend to manifest. Two of Wands. There's an indecision on direction. Someone gets up in their head. The spiritual being, the highly connected one, there's one far more connected than the other. Both of you are connected, but there's one that's more in tune. You were not following the directions you were given. So the fuse was lit, but not necessarily by your hand. This is intervention. The interesting thing to this as well is that the timing, I hear by the skin of your teeth. Had this gone on for even a day longer, there would have been real hell to pay. But because a decision was made when it was, the crumbling and the destruction happened in time that it was not more catastrophic, we'll put it that way. Ace of Swords. Truth and clarity. Out of chaos and confusion. There's a real honest discussion and a real honest approach that both parties are taking now in their own lives individually. There's a conversation with self, as if to say, okay, yes, I let that slide too much. I let that slip. I let that go. I didn't let that go. Someone's taking inventory of their decisions and their involvement and their part in this process. So while there is destruction, there's very much a leveling out and a recalibration that's occurred. So what next? The High Priestess. Confirmed. Hi, honey. Five of Wands. An end to a conflict that was ongoing for far too long, frankly. There's a forced element of... There's an element of a forced synchronicity or spirituality within this mix. Very interesting, because it seems as though... I'm not feeling that either party had ill intent or ill will in this circumstance, but certainly there is a manipulation, or was a manipulation, that was occurring, and that had to have an end put to it. And an end was put to everything. This reading, we will stop here. There's too much abrupt shifting back and forth. I don't wonder at the fact that this came to an end the way it did, because the vibes are incoherent together. They're not matching. There was a real force to try and make this work. So understandably, it's not the way. Nothing should feel this chaotic or this difficult to hold together. So take solace in knowing that it needed to occur. And you feel that. I can feel someone actually engaging with that on their solar plexus level. So we will give this time to rest and check back in again. Be at peace.